Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the first episode of the basement, man. You got your boy D, your boy Nick, your boy Al. What's up, fellas?
Feeling good, bro. Feeling
So,
good.
man, um,
Yeah, man. You know how I go. Big day yesterday in Cowboy Land. We signed some guys, we traded for some guys, and now we're looking to cut some guys. So it's a lot of mixed emotions out here, man. What y'all thinking about yesterday, and just kind of y'all feelings, y'all hangover pretty much today. What y'all thinking?
I'll let you go first, Nick.
for sure. So
Yeah,
first,
man. With me, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was screaming. I got my grandma saying, "What's going on? What's going on?" I'm like, "We got Gilly. What are you talking about?" Yeah, we was in the chat.
yeah,
I think Nick sent the tweet, and the first
yeah,
thing I said, Gilmore, Gilmore, Gilmore. Like that was the first thing. Me and little bro was watching film yesterday, right? And so we would start talking about we actually watching Ramsey, and I was like, "Yo, Miami got the best defensive back in the league by far." I said, "The only way
Yeah.
we can get them is by getting Gilmore." This is like yesterday morning.
swear,
We got one. I said, "I told you this, Gil. That's the only way we can get him." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah. But man, I'm excited, man. That's what we've been needing two for so long. It took us long to get one. And I had mentioned a little about yesterday. I'm like, it's the first time we had two since Byron and Cheeto barely, you know what I'm saying?
barely,
Like
yeah,
that, you know, that's still, nobody looking back for the ball. You can only run certain coverages. That's cover three
Yeah.
football. We can sit there
Mhm.
and go zero. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
Nick,
Word.
you want to go and you can send 7-man pressures and feel comfortable. You can send 8-man pressures at times and feel comfortable just because you got guys out there that's not letting up slants, verts, anything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, man. I know you a DB too, man. What you think Gilmore gonna bring to the table as far as just a different skill set to the team?
Shoot, man. I think it impacts the defense, man, to more than the signing itself. Man, it impacts all three levels of the defense. I think, you know, as a pass rush, understanding you got more time to get to the quarterback, knowing these guys gonna lock these guys down. And as a DB group, with the pass rush we got, you know, you see now you got three guys at DB between Diggs, Bland, and Gilmore. They gonna get the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gonna get the ball. And shit, man, it's gonna be real tough to play against Dallas and try to be a team that moves the ball down the field methodically. I think it's team's gonna try to be a team that they're gonna try to big play us to death. And I think you're
Yeah.
gonna see a lot of low scores this year
Mhm.
messing with Dallas.
I,
Yeah,
I think to piggyback off that, see, so for me, I always look at us like we got weaknesses and teams are going to try to exploit those. A lot of times we got big strengths. The teams go, we can't beat Dallas at their strength. Let's just go find their weakness and we're just going to attack that all game because they're never going to adjust. I think the next priority, and Nick, you probably gonna talk about this, is getting more physical
Right.
because
mhm.
teams are going the 40. This doesn't help our 49ers problem to me.
No,
We got our 49ers problem is inside. Our
Right.
49ers problem is when they get around, they get on the edge, and now we got our linebackers need to shed and we got to make tackles. So I think
Yeah.
we still got some issues there,
mhm.
interior of the defense and just being more physical. But on the outside, yeah, don't need to try to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Let me run some numbers to y'all. Last year we got Stephon Gilmore allowing a 56% completion percentage. Very good. 6.5 yards per target. Very good. 11
Nah,
yards, 11 and a half yards per catch. Very good. So those numbers were all better than Darius Slay, Marlon Humphrey, Jalen Ramsey, and Jair Alexander. And his 74 passer rating allowed, second in the league behind only Jair Alexander. So then I know PFF grades aren't perfect, but hear me out. 92nd percentile in coverage grade, 93rd percentile in coverage grade in single coverage, 98th percentile in coverage grade in the slot. So that shows you got position flex, shows you he can straight man up, he can run cover one. We know that. He's one of the better man corners of the past decade. He run cover three, run everything, man. So
yeah.
You got Diggs on one side, and Diggs could be a little more aggressive now with his gambling. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Can he?
You still got
Can
Malik
he?
Hooker, who plays real well in that
Yeah.
that deep half of the field and stuff like that. Curse cover any tight end. We've seen it. The numbers
Tight
back
end
it up.
busted.
And then
Yeah.
Dono, like we said, brought him back. 3-headed monster at safety. 4 to 5 corners deep. Is it crazy to say this is the best secondary in the league?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
not.
piggyback off the name. Oh, go ahead,
It's not crazy to say it's the best secondary in the league at all. I think you got the potential to do some no-fly zone type stuff right now. To have 3 guys that you trust on wide receivers 1 through 3, and not only cover well, you got guys that got a trait of taking the ball away. I think the dominant position groups create a dominant side of the ball. You got a dominant secondary. It's so easy on the defensive coordinator.
And let me follow up on that. You talking about cover wide receiver 1 through 3. Stephon Gilmore is not here to be your number 1 corner.
Exactly.
He's the number 1 corner on about 20 teams, about 15 to 20 teams. So
27
you got Stephon Gilmore covering number 2 receivers. Yeah. I think it's safe to say he's a lot better than Anthony Brown, right?
Yeah.
And last I checked with Anthony Brown, we still had a top 10-ish pass coverage unit.
Sure.
You feel me? I mean, like you said, cover 1 through 3. I mean, if Deron Bland and Jordan Lewis is covering your number 3 and 4, good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
I think the mentorship aspect of this is going to go underrated too, because we don't normally in Dallas get guys with this merit. And you can see a direct correlation between Mike McCarthy and the thought process and the decision making of this team. So I hope that same thing happens with the DB room and the decisions that the DB decide to take and decide to make, because to have a guy like Al Harris, who's been a game changer in Dallas as he's been there, from Chris Rashard and just DB decision making. I don't think if you have a Chris Rashard in this room, this is no diss to him, Deron Bland gets 5 picks as a rookie. You know what I mean? I just don't see it, So I think Al Harris was a pick master. He perpetuates, y'all go get the ball. When y'all don't catch it, you suck for not catching it. You know what I mean? And to have Gilmore in there too, it's going to be phenomenal for him. I think for Diggs and for the young guys to see. I mean, that's a DPOY. That's like an MVP of the league type player, man.
Yeah.
Gilmore's one of the corners ever.
You know what it kind of resembles to a little bit, and it's call me crazy, but I think it resembles last year picking up Jason Peters. I believe that helped Tyler Smith so much in his transition to the league. And Trey, I love Trey. He's not all the way there yet. He hasn't been playing corner that long. Here's a guy that could help him, with the little things he still need to work on.
Yeah, I think Gilmore just changes the perplexity. I think the second aspect of what he does that I kind of love the most is what he does for your off season. He slowly but surely takes the handcuffs off this team. We always go into the draft with 3 or 4 glaring needs and only 1 or 2 top 60 picks. That just don't make sense, because you can only expect to fix those needs in the first 2 rounds, maybe. Sometimes in the 3rd round you luck out.
Yeah.
In the first 2 rounds, you always have a need, and you got 5 needs, man. So you got to pick and choose what's available. And then when the guy falls to you that you like, you can't pick him because you need a left guard. You know what I mean? Right. So now to be able to take corner off the equation, because we don't know if any of them guys would be able to come in and beat Gilmore. I like the dude from South Carolina. He's 5. The Mississippi State dude, he's a pick magnet too. But can they come in and lock and shut down number 2 like Gilmore? No. So to be able to take corner off the board round 1, it puts all eyes on best defensive player on the board. You get a Nolan's, what's Nolan Smith? My fault. He failed me in my mock last night. I was a little excited, but
we had the fastest pass rush of all time right there.
We don't know what's about to happen, but. Or if you go on the other side of that, now you can set the table up for an offensive playmaker, and you can feel confident. They pick offensive playmaker, And we're gonna get that a little bit later. But the other thing we did yesterday, we enforced that. Now we just taking off the handcuffs, and we get to the draft with no glaring need.
Right.
That's when you take this team to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
So
the
we was
three
all
on
right.
defense was linebacker, corner, and interior defensive tackle. You know, they signed two of those needs yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. And
Maybe Higgins come back too.
So yeah, going to that. What do y'all think? So yesterday we was able to bring back two guys. Donovan Wilson got 3 years, 24 million, so that averages out like 8 million a year. But there's probably some structured things there where Dallas can get out early, as they always can. And then Leighton got the 2 year, $11 million discount BOGO deal. We got buy one, get one half off yesterday on the homegrown talent. So as James Slater would say, draft and develop works again. What y'all boys think about bringing back Dono and LVE and those contracts? And
I think those are two important signings. Shit, man, getting back, especially Van Der Esch on the deal, you got him back. I think you couldn't really ask for nothing better out of linebacker free agency. Bringing Dono back, man, that's huge. I really didn't expect to bring Dono back. I thought we was gonna have to move forward with Marquise Bell or possibly Izzy in that third safety spot in the 3 safety look. But man, bringing back D. Will, he's like the enforcer of the defense. I think my brother compares him a lot to Zeke and what he does for the offense. I think just being that physical presence, it really you get a reputation for when you play Dallas. You know, this team, they play fast and hard, and he personifies that.
Yeah. Keep your head on a swivel when you play us, because every time y'all ever play Madden and y'all start seeing them X's, and then in my head, when I start seeing them X's, I'm like, I gotta stay away from the X's, because the X's is going to be the problem. I think you starting to have that problem in Dallas, where you're gonna have on the corner, I gotta stay away from those 2 X's, and then on that D line, I gotta stay away from 11, and then DeMarcus Lawrence, he still got his superstar abilities. I need to stay away from him, and now you're like, oh, I don't want to get hit by 6, so I need to stay away from him. You know what I mean? And where are you going to place your football? Where are you going to attack? And if we can, limit that, absolutely. Nick, what you think about yesterday?
Hey man, if you don't believe that dudes don't want to get hit by Dono, ask Dalvin Cook. He'll tell you. He'll tell you that Dono gets hit every week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was saying to somebody, I forget who. I was talking to somebody. I'm in the group chat, and I was telling him, I was like, I got to give Steven his credit, because now back-to-back years he's invested in the safety position. We have never invested in the safety position the past 10, 12. We were starting Jeff Heath, man. Come on.
Yeah.
So now that we have invested in 3 safeties, granted, it is not top dollar, but they still getting paid. They getting paid comfortably. It is good to see that they are finally taking it serious. Next, I just want to take that D tackle spot serious, but that's another time for another. For LVE coming back, I'm taking that deal over any deal Bobby Wagner probably wants, because low money, low cap hit, not a lot of money guaranteed, so he'll have to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, he'll come back. That's probably how it's going to be. How I have to be with him for his whole career because of the neck issues and stuff like that. But as long as he stay healthy, bring back Hankins, get some D tackles. We cooking something, and I think the run defense is going to be fine.
What did they tell Leighton Van Der Esch, man? Like, I was sitting there mocking Jerry's like my brother. I'm like, Leighton, I know you don't want to go back to Riggins. I know you like it back here in Dallas. Your big house down there in Austin. Just come on, sign this deal I got down here for you. And we're gonna take care of you. Because what did he say to that man to make him come up in there with that shirt on and sign that contract and be all happy about it? Because I'm like, Leighton, you could have the Bengals and made it big.
Jerry might be able to sell me tap water, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Jerry might be able to sell me tap water. Like, I don't know what they saying, bro.
I seen Leighton's contract. I said, what? But at the same time, I think that it's the situation where you build a culture that guys want to be a part of, and then it's looking like it's getting to the point where some of these guys are willing to do anything to be a part of it, because you're getting some guys that are going outside the organization and saying, I still want to come back. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that might be the same for Dalton Schultz. Is he just waiting for Dallas to send him some paperwork over 1 year, 3.5, and he just going, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. But at the same time, I do feel like Dallas in a position where they're being able to sustain their roster and prepare. This is the bit. This is why I don't get on Dallas that much. Other fans, they want to wild out and cuss the front out. But I'm like, dog, you got core roster. We have one of the cheapest high level core rosters in the league.
Mhm.
San Francisco's paying Trent Williams top dollar. They're paying Debo Samuel's top dollar. They're paying Christian McCaffrey top dollar. We are not paying Michael Parsons top dollar yet. It's coming.
Mhm.
You're not paying Trayvon Diggs top dollar. It's coming. You're not paying CD Lamb top dollar yet. It's coming. You just had to pay Tony Pollard. You know what I'm saying? So we're in this position where you are, like we said, running like a corporation. You got assets that are appreciated. You know what I mean? That you need to pay attention to. And at the same time, you want to be able to fill the holes in around them. So I think we're doing a good job, man. And bringing back those two guys that I kind of thought were on their way out too, just makes the draft easier, man. I just want the draft to be fun. I don't want to go into the draft and end up with Sam Williams, Jalen Tober, and Tyler Smith. I love Sam Williams. Oh my God, we ain't said Sam Williams' name all. I ain't thought Sam Williams. Woo! Okay, that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
How much credit do y'all give? Oh wait, go my bad. Go on.
I'm gonna finish up quick. Just saying, those guys are awesome, but they were functional players. I'm trying to get luxury guys now to take us so we can go to San Francisco and be like, well, guess what? I got a 3-headed monster out here too. But yeah, go ahead, Nick. What you say? What you about to say?
Now, I was gonna say, how much of credit are we giving this to Mike McCarthy? I feel like Mike does not get enough credit personally. What about somebody else? Like, I mean, I think he's been phenomenal the past. I mean, 2 back-to-back 12-win seasons. And I'll tell you right now, in 2020, I say about, I don't know how many coaches would have won even 6 games with what was going on that team. So what do y'all think about that?
I would say, man, like, I've been impressed with Mike's whole tenure since from the jump, since he came. The way they operate, you see a clear lineation between the Garrett administration and McCarthy and the way they run the team. I think it's more reminiscent of a lot of the marquee franchises that we watched when we was growing up. They look like the Steelers in the way that they operated when they was doing their thing with Ben. They look like the way Rodgers early in his tenure with the Packers. Just understanding that a championship team usually comes around a quarterback and a defense, and just really with the same approach they've had as far as financially and as a front office, not overvaluing players. And really, it hasn't really always been that way for real. Because I remember growing up, we used to trade first, second rounds, trade for Roy Williams, trade for, man, like it used to get nasty, bro. It was no future. There was no future in that. For sure. It was no future in that.
You look forward to watching.
I'm a fan of the way they're running now.
Yeah, you know how they're going to come out mostly correct.
Yeah.
It's about getting over that hump now.
Yeah.
I think it's like thinking, man. Like they're actually thinking. If you're going to have the mentality of draft and develop, you had the draft side. That was Will McClay, but you didn't have the develop side because Jason Garrett wasn't developing many players. Like you had some Tyrone Crawfords of the world that came along, and Lee Collins came along, but you're not developing. And Mike McCarthy says day one, whether it was a damn mojo moment, whether it was taking the numbers off these jerseys, he's only been about advantages. How do I get a competitive advantage? Where do I find my competitive advantages? And people are starting to develop. I think having a coach that has his own mind, because when we get these guys that come into Dallas and they don't have their own mind, they just go through the motion. They listen to what the other organization tells them. They're not thinking for themselves. But when you get some pushback, and when Mike McCarthy says, okay, I know you like Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
But I can't do what I need to do with Kellen Moore.
That's the best example right there.
Jason Garrett would have never let him cut Kellen Moore. Jason Garrett was out there with Kellen Moore for 10 years, losing.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore, Scott Linehan, all that shit, man. No.
That was Mike McCarthy. That was Mike McCarthy. I don't care what nobody say. If it was up to Jerry and them, Kellen would still be here, man.
Yeah.
Mike said, look,
Yeah.
something a little remember they had that week, they were like, yeah, we're talking about what we're gonna do.
They knew
That's
they was
exactly
gonna do. Mike was pushing back that week.
And what they do as soon as he cut him, he said, yeah, I ain't really like I wasn't a fan of those plays to begin with. What?
I remember he called out Kellen for all them option routes to training camp. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Coaches going back and forth in Dallas?
Yeah.
Man.
Nah, we're just running like a business, and we're having transactions. Things going in, things are going out, and that's the important part to let go of some things. And now we're going. I kind of want to transition to letting go of something else that seems imminent here. By the time this comes out, we might already be here. So it's been reported that the Cowboys are preparing to release Ezekiel Elliott. I'm gonna give this disclaimer. This could be some BS Cowboys just trying to taunt Zeke to lower that number, because I don't know if they're prepared to take a first round running back, but they could be. What do y'all think about, if this is the end of Zeke, and what kind of perspective does that give you on what this team is looking to do?
You go ahead, Nick.
All right. My bad. Damn. Shit, man. You got so many ways you could look at this. The fan in me does not want this to happen. The logic in me says it has to happen.
Yeah.
There's so many ways you can look at this. I mean, anybody who really follows the team can see the growth Zeke has not only made as a player, but even as a person, like 2016 and
Absolutely.
now. I personally, I'm not gonna be one of those fans that's, yay, Zeke's gone. I understand, but let's cut the guy some slack. If I'm not y'all, I know how y'all feel, but fans in general, they gotta cut the dude some slack. He went out there every week, put everything into it every week. Was more than supportive of Tony when Tony took over the role. I mean, a true professional.
Constant,
So hats off to Zeke. Appreciate everything he did here, but sometimes it's football, man. Body's gonna break down, and that's what it is.
I hate to see it, and at first I don't like to kind of get into it, because I know at the end of the day, whether Kellen, the play was smart or not, he was trying to do what we could to win the game. I hate that his last plays out there getting power drive that center. That's just ugly. That's just ugly. But Zeke is probably my favorite Cowboy of all time. I ain't gonna lie to you. So this gonna be I don't want him to get Dez and just don't play no more, because that's gonna be painful. If Dez doing that, kind of ease the pain, because it's we didn't have to see him really. We saw him in a Saints practice squad uniform or something like that. But it took him a while. And I think if Zeke goes out there and is playing on the Jags next year, that's gonna be wow. To see that. But I think Zeke's gonna have success wherever he goes. I truly see that, and then you're gonna have Cowboy fans going, "Wow, okay, why we couldn't get that out of him?" And I think he still got a little bit more in the tank, man. But if it is the last couple of hours of the Zeke Cowboy tenure, man, it was a ride, dog. I thought we had a ring coming for sure, but it happens.
Yeah, man. Zeke is one of them. He one of them all time, fan favorites up there. You look at Dez, you look at Irvin. You know what I'm saying? I think Zeke one of those players that signifies, an era of Cowboys fans. So I don't think it's gonna be easy for anybody to let go of Zeke. Myself, I feel like I would, not just from a fan standpoint, but just seeing what the player is, I would still hope for the ability to try to rework a contract or whatever they can do. I still have hope for that. But if they let go of Zeke, it's a move that I understand. You got to get younger at the position. You got to get cheaper at the position. Zeke is starting, he's a guy early in his career. He rarely had an injury. I think you look at him now, past 2 years, you see lower extremity start to get banged up. So, his spring ain't the same as it used to be. But like you said, I still think he has some in the tank as a player. He still got value as a running back. I still would like him to be a stronger runner. Even when he was looking healthier in the season, I want him to be I think that's what his trademark is, a stronger runner.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if they bring him back and he can do that, then we'll be fine. But yeah, moving on. I understand. It's what got to be done.
Yeah. So I kind of said, things coming in, things coming out. You know how that goes. So Zeke's leaving. This is a good segue, man. What do y'all want to see us do with the relief that we may get? I know some of that might be pushed to draft, some of that might be pushed to some of these extensions they may try to get done here. But if the cap is cleared to continue to make moves like we was doing yesterday, back on a good note, what do y'all want to? Who else do you want to see the Cowboys attack? And I'll start that real quick because we've been having a lot of internal discussions in this house because we a big Cowboy house in here. I know y'all got some of them as well. DeAndre Hopkins is a name that keeps being mentioned. Now, Jane tried to burst our bubble and tell us that they said nothing to him, but Jane told me 2 days ago that the Cowboys was on vacation, not doing nothing, and not traded for Gilmore. So I'm gonna just say that hey, they might just be keeping things on the low. I'm cool. She didn't say they were on vacation, but she said they don't expect anything.
They on vacation. That's all they got going, man.
Right. Hey, that's the best place to be. They drafted CeeDee Lamb on that yacht and Trayvon Diggs. They need to draft on that yacht again. I'm excited for what we can do. The Odell thing to me is cool if the money really makes sense. But D-Hop, I feel like he's in a place where he wants to work the deal where it makes sense. He's not in a greedy position. He's not in a greedy mindset, which I like. He might be using Dallas as leverage on the Cardinals and some other teams. But if that's a real thing, I mean, I was watching D-Hop. You could bring Kellen Moore back and still be successful with D-Hop in this offense.
Right.
He can run these thick routes. He's going to catch everything thrown at him. And you got these crazy football Wizards fans talking about, but your quarterback. Man, he had Tom Savage and God knows who else. They have the most quarterback-friendly receiver of all time. Dak can throw the jump behind him. He can throw wherever he wants to. And D-Hop the hands to grab it. So I think D-Hop would be a great addition for that. What y'all think about D-Hop or anybody else out there that's possible to grab right now?
Yeah, I would love to
beat that twice only.
You said what?
That's some same fans that they team was only beat that twice.
For sure. That's why they hate him so damn much, bro.
Yeah. Damn Commodores, man.
Yeah, my bad. I was going though. I just had to ask that since you said that, man.
Nah, you good. You good. Shit, man. Hop, man. I think if you could land a Hop, man, that's another elite position group. I think you'll be looking at a team that's elite on the outside on both sides of the ball. I think the level of mismatches you have between CD and Hop, shit, man, it would be. I mean, Dak Prescott probably put up record numbers for the MVP type numbers for real.
Yeah.
But, another guy that will be on my radar is somebody they already had their eyes on during the season. I think I want them to spin back and double back and see what's up with Brandon Cooks.
Absolutely.
That's what I was gonna say too, yo.
Yeah, a true deep threat like Brandon Cooks. I think he fits the same timeline. Pretty much about the same as Nuke, but it'd probably be about a 2-3 year deal max. So yeah, and the money probably wouldn't be too crazy for those guys around those age.
You save a couple dollars too.
Yeah. And to have a true deep threat to the offense, and I think it's gonna look more true like a true West Coast, ball control type offense as far as the passing game. It's really gonna work off the running game. I think Brandon Cooks is a real good fit for that.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree, especially in the what it sounds like they're trying to lean more on that short, quick read stuff. And Brandon Cooks can get busy after the catch. I mean, I you know that. So like it. I'd say that's actually probably my number one choice, and then Hopkins probably 2.
Yeah.
Odell 3, I guess. I gotta hit up the Raiders about Renfro. Just get a little slot dude possibly that can play a little bit.
That's low key fire. And nobody said that's low key like fire. Nobody said that Renfro thing.
Yeah.
He's nice.
Yeah, I think Dak likes those type of like having like one of them type of receivers he really liked Beasley. So I don't know if he'll get cut. I wouldn't trade for him. If he did get cut, I'd look at Cedric Wilson coming back.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in that. That's about the 5 names I could see them being able to do that interests me.
What about I'm thinking of a guy, the UNC. So I know we're gonna get in the draft a little bit here sooner, but we're just talking. It seems like all of our conversations are centered around the slot guy. We're trying to get somebody that can go in there, be Dak friendly, catch the ball, make plays out the slot. Because at this point, CD needs to be X, needs to be outside, needs to be out there making plays, going deep, doing whatever he needs to do. Because when we have him inside, we limit our offense. Because then you got T.Y. Hilton outside, and MG if he decides he wants to get open today. So if you have CD out there and a slot guy, you at least kind of give yourself the ability to not be pigeonholed. A guy, Josh Downs, that UNC dude, I think he comes in to Dallas and he changes like the world.
Yeah, and he got speed too.
He got speed. He got that dog in him too. I like when players got that it factor, and I think Downs, out of a lot of the receivers in this class, has that. I think he might come in day one and have that Garrett Wilson, like, give me the ball. I'm ready to play on this level today. And I think Garrett Wilson had that last year, and I think that Downs might be the guy that have it this year. I'm kind of scared of some of the other guys and just how they translate early on, because we need immediate impact, especially if we're going to go in the draft and get receiver. Some of these guys we talking about free agency wise, we might have just, kind of used too much capital to maybe even get one of these guys at this point if we don't get a good bargain. Because I don't know what D-Hop contract is going to look like. We don't know if Odell is going to settle. You know what I mean? Brandon Cooks might be a possibility if we don't get beat to the punch, but why couldn't that get done in the middle of the season last year? So we got what problems are there? I think so. If you decide that you do want to attack through the draft, and this can go for wide receiver. We can start this conversation at wide receiver, but kind of transition along to some other positions. Where can you fix wide receiver in this draft and have the immediate impact that you want to have? Where y'all think?
You go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I like Zay Flowers at 26. It is a good option. JSN, see, I like what you said about slot, but I want to expand it a little bit more and say, can you play a little bit of Z so I can have CD in the slot a little bit? Because I don't want that Jason Garrett, we know where everybody is all the time type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you need somebody that can play Z, somebody that can play slot. I think Zay Flowers is your guy. Could look at what's his face, JSN. Doubt he falls. And Johnson's cool, but I don't see the position for that at all.
He be fun though, man. Yeah. If Quentin Johnson gets the Dallas, dude, that's gonna be wild.
I wouldn't have a problem with sticking CD in the slot at that point.
Yeah,
because the one-on-one on the outside between Johnston and Gallup. My goodness.
I'll trust Gallup next year.
You said what?
Y'all trust Gallup next year?
I think he'll be somewhat better than what he was, but I've never really seen Gallup as a guy that can threaten as a number one. I think he's firmly number two at the most. I look back to that game against when Coop was hurt. They played against the Jets in 2019. I feel like that's when Gallup was probably at his best, and I remember in that game, he's a really good, sticks receiver. Hook routes, anything coming back to the ball, he's really reliable. But as far as threatening a defense and really forcing them to change the way they cover, I don't think he's never been that guy. So I want a second guy in the offense that can do that for them. I like your idea, Zay Flowers. That's You said what, D? Oh,
I feel like I've been a big MG guy for a while. I think that when MG, it's like MG has his best games when nothing else is working and we decide, okay, we got to go to MG. You can go to Tampa week 1 a couple years ago. You can look at one of them Rams games where we had to just keep relying on them. The Giants game with Dak. It's like when all else fails, throw it to MG and it's like, wow, look how great he is. But at the same time, it's like I don't think we've game planned a game where MG was a part of the game plan. It's
Right.
like you go be the backside receiver. We need you. We'll throw it to you. I can see them get him more involved because early on in his career, we tried it. We throw him like them screens, and I remember one Philly game he took one like 15 yards, and he can catch and run. We
Yeah.
never get him early targets to try to get him in motion, and when we do, it works out for us. And I think when MG goes the whole first quarter and touch the ball, then we in for one of those zero catch San Francisco days. But I would like us to. I don't want to just throw MG away because I know the talent is there. We've seen it. We just haven't been able to consistently give him targets where he could be utilized. You know what I mean? But I'll go back to you. You was hitting on the point about some other guys that you were looking at.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how do y'all feel about if Dallas tried to target an impactful tight end in the passing game and try to go that approach, working inside out as an offense, sort of like the Chiefs do. Putting the defense in a conundrum between, great tight end and CD on the outside instead of looking for that great receiver that you can switch around at that 2 or 3 spot.
Yeah, I like Darnell Washington in that case, especially because it's like having a third offensive tackle. There's a lot of tight ends don't come into the league and have an immediate impact in the passing game. But what I do know about Washington, he's gonna come in and have a blocking impact, no questions. Yeah. Dude is a specimen. Like, I mean, huge hands, gets right up in you when he blocks. I mean, he could block. You know what I'm saying? So that'll help the run game and eventually the pass game.
I'm not against tight end. I'm just all for impact. You know what I mean? I don't want to drag tight end for the hell of it. I want to drag tight end because we're getting a guy that's going to come in and impact. I think Donnell Washington for us is going to be great for our offense. I don't know if he's going to be the tight end production that we think or that we're drafting. Like if you're drafting the tight end in the first round, you should be drafted for production. I don't know if Donnell Washington's going to match the production of being 26th pick, but he may make the offense be a lot more functional, just because we're able to do a lot more, physical things, and we're able to, kind of pull and get on the outside, and TP is able to just run for 3,000 yards. Same time, it's a couple guys like I like it's like the Beaver, the Oregon State dude. He's fire.
Musgrave.
There's another one. Musgrave. He's nice.
Kincaid is my guy. I think he really fits what Dallas is trying to do. That dude is a monster down the seam. I think that's the difference between a great tight end to me and a good one is who can really threaten the seam and really force a defense to really kind of stay out of those cover 2 shells and really have somebody running the middle, down the pole, the middle of the field.
Ratings going up.
Darwin could have been.
Ratings going up. We got a Cowboy Kincaid guy. We finally got one. I heard no one say I'm messing with Kincaid. Let's go. This is fire. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. You remember? I think what they wanted Jarwin to be is what Kincaid could be, because Jarwin was good in the passing game. He couldn't block, but like you said, he was a threat up in the field and the seams and stuff like that. So I think Kincaid could be what they wanted Jarwin to be.
Right.
Yeah.
How does that affect, or how does these guys affect that guy? Peyton Hendershot, Jake Ferguson, even McEwen. I like Sean McEwen. That's my guy. I call him McKeon. But what do y'all think about how Jake's development is going and Hendershot being able to kind of be that vertical guy for you? Do you think it's redundant to bring in another tight end into that room? Or do you guys?
I don't think it's redundant. I think depending on who you bring in, if you do bring in a Kincaid or somebody like that, I think it puts more pressure on Hendershot to be a little bit better in the blocking game. But I think Ferg is a pretty good. I think he's solidified. If he's the tight end 2, then you're in a really good place. If he's the tight end 1, then you're decent. But if you add somebody that can block and really have an impact in the run game, say like Washington, I think Hendershot, I think he'll be a little bit more comfortable in the lineup, not really have too much pressure to be a better blocker because I don't know if he's the blocker that Ferguson is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They like running out 12 personnel, 22 personnel. They gonna put 2 tight ends out there. Like I think they like, and I think it goes back to what we talked about off the camera, how they kind of want that New England type of thing. Ever since they saw New England running the 2 tight ends with Gronk and Hernandez, I mean, they they kind of want to do things like that.
You know, I will say this. I feel, and we can wrap up here, guys. But I want to definitely say this. As far as my tight end perspective, I've seen a couple of them out there. I do like the Musgrave kid. My 2 favorite has been the Myers, Notre Dame guy, and then I don't want to botch his name. Something with the Iowa dude.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he get busy after the catch.
They routes is sick. Like Kincaid to me is like Gesicki, right?
Right.
Those 2 guys are your Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, prototype NFL guys. They run the route, they have the wiggle, they're able to get loose off defenders. Go watch their red zone snaps and what they do when they're lined up, split out a little bit from the line of scrimmage in the red zone. That's where I can see who you really are, because that's one-on-one with some DBs, and they're cooking him. And I'm like, that's what I want to see, because when you get to the NFL, when you look at Mark Andrews, you look at Travis Kelce, you look at Waller, they win one-on-one. And so it's cool to be able to put your hand in the dirt and run up the seam and be Jason Witten and throw the hand up and get the quick pass. But when you can get split a little bit outside and stay in that almost that damn slot position and be able to cook defenders like Mark Andrews can do at times, that's what I want. And I think that the Myers kid and the Iowa dude have it. And I would say the Myers kid,
Mayer reminds me of Witten. He reminds me of Witten, a young Witten.
So I mean,
he's nice, man. He's nice, dog.
I would love him. I would love him.
He can play. He's a really complete tight end. Not doesn't excel too much at one thing, but very complete. Got everything. You know, everything's above average about it, which is good. I got one more before we go down though.
Sure.
Since we already touched on the offense side, we talked about Zeke. What could happen when it's too early to draft the back? When do we want a back? What are the backs we interested in?
First overall, too early. You ain't picking there, so you picking 26. Pick them.
We like Bijan at 26.
I'm good on a running back in the first round. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm like iffy on it
because it's only. I think it's only so much that the best running back in the league can add to your offense. I think the difference between, say like Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders, it's a huge difference. They hugely different in talent, but the impact is hardly different.
Oh man, y'all. I don't know about that, but I might disagree. I might disagree big time on that. I think that the impact that a big time running back can have in your offense is bigger than any other position.
Whoa.
Honestly, top 3 to me. Because it changes the world when your run game, when you got one of those guys back there. And not many teams have one of those. The Titans got one of those. The Titans with Derrick Henry versus the Titans that we played against last year, night and day. Christian McCaffrey, Deontay Foreman played really good for the Panthers. I know they wish they had McCaffrey now. They got the first pick in the draft. Because there would be a difference having McCaffrey back there with your rookie quarterback versus having Deontay Foreman back there with your running back. And San Francisco was cool giving away a whole entire draft, even though they got Debo, because I think if you bring in a Bijan Robinson to this offense, I think because of what we had to endure with Zeke and what the offense, the run game has been like since I would say 2019, about 3.6 yards a carry, realistically, true average. If we go from that to a 2016 type of run game, a 2018 type of run game again, with 2 guys that can do it, TP coming off injury and a Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 guys that can hit home runs, we don't get a lot of home runs with guys. That's why we love TP. TP hit all these home runs, only had 1,000. Imagine if TP, if TP's 1,000 is 1,400. That changes the world. That's 2 more wins for you. I don't know if it's in the playoffs or in the regular season, but if TP gets to 1,400 yards, look what Murray did. Murray's 1,800. That was 12-4. Zeke's 1,600. That's 13. Every time we go up past over 1,500, we the best team in the NFC. So I think if we get a running back long term, I don't like the long term effects of drafting the running back in the first round. But short term, this season, you walk into San Francisco coming to you. They're coming back in Dallas, and we got something for it. That's why we can't stop them. To me, they run game. If we can be that in the run game and have some guys, shoot, let's do it.
But that's where I would say guard is a possibility. Maybe get some maulers, and then whoever's back at running back. We made Derrick McFadden look good, with a good O-line. So we got to keep building this O-line. It's older now, so now that we getting some young guys, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Terrence Steele still young. Get a left guard, young dude. That'll set the run game too pretty well.
Yeah.
You say guard, and I hear people talking about this. Where does a guard play for us this season? I'm just talking about this season. I think right now we're looking to go. We built the core. The pieces that we're adding look like they're for the push. Where does a guard? What does a guard in the first round do for us this season to you guys?
I think it would be. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. I was just saying that's a good question, but I'm not banking on Tyron Smith being healthy all year. I'm not banking on that. I'm not banking on Terrence Steele even being healthy all year. And I love that we have Tyler Smith that can play left guard, left tackle, right tackle, whatever. And I love that Tyron Smith can play all those parts. We got Matt Waletzko coming back, to possibly be, O tackle 4. I've heard they wanted to move Josh Ball inside. He sucks. I don't want him. He's garbage, straight garbage. So get a left guard and let's cook, because Tyler Smith could either play left guard, left tackle. And even if that's not your immediate answer at left guard, hey, you got something down the road where you can move Tyler Smith outside. You got a left guard, and I like Steve Avila. Steve Avila right there at left guard. I mean, that's going to turn you into one of the better run blocking teams in the NFL. So
right. Yeah, Steve Avila was the guy that I was thinking too. Steve Avila that's my guy. Yeah, I think guard is firmly a luxury pick. I think if you go into the draft and you allow yourself to draft a guard in the first round, I think it's with the idea that we ain't got no holes in the team, and it's really about solidifying the depth of what's supposed to be the best unit on the offense. I think we're supposed to be driven on the offensive line.
Yes.
And so, when you further solidify that and establish your depth, and because truly it takes about 7 to 8 good old linemen to make a good unit.
Yes, sir.
I think even the Eagles had to go down into their depth this year. So when I think I would be all on board with drafting the first round guard, even if they didn't start, even if they wasn't in the depth chart as a starter. I think it would be a ballsy move.
And you mentioned a good point with Philly. I hate Philly. I'm sure y'all do too. But one thing, we draft better than Philly, but we don't do drafting as good as Philly. Every year they are bringing in depth on the O-line, bruh. They are ready every year if something happens. So you gotta take a page out of their playbook with that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let y'all the offensive line gurus. I'm gonna have to say it like Jerry here, because I'll be saying like I'm Jerry, bro. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I want to listen. I'm sick of going to San Francisco and they got Debo, Christian McCaffrey, bro. I'm sick of him having all them dudes, and we gotta figure out how we gonna stop 5 legitimate weapons, and I got 2. I'm trying to go in there with 5, just like they do. I'm trying to go in there with Bijan, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, OBJ. I want to go in there with the whole crew in there.
Everyone. Fuck the picks, man. Trade them picks, man.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get dogs. Let's get dogs, man. I draft offensive line later, man. I can throw. Man, listen, hey, man. But you guys are right. Every time, like even the Tyler Smith thing last year, it worked out for us for the better. And Zach, Trav, every time we draft offensive line, I'm like, I'm one of them. I'm a DB, bro. I'll be happy. I know the value it brings, but it sucks when you're in the first round and you're seeing your boy on the board and you go out there and Tyler Smith. Oh, okay, all right, let's go, let's do it.
But we love the excitement, bro. We love the excitement.
Like the exciting pick. Sometimes the exciting pick ain't the best pick.
So
Michael Parsons or Tyler Smith?
God damn. Can we do that next time?
CeeDee Lamb or Tyler Smith? I love Tyler Smith now. I love Tyler Smith. Well, let's be real about this, guys. One of them is real. Hey, we feel real good about Tyler. These other guys, it was putting wins on the board. So I think we got it. You at 10 and you want to sustain 10, but man, like you said, God's a luxury. Man, go get substantially better. If you cutting Zeke, man, do not send me out here with TP coming off a broken leg, dog. Give me a running back. Now, if you cutting Zeke, you cutting 21, go give me a running back. I want Gibbs, I want Bijan, I want one of them. I want one of them. Go
Right.
get him.
I feel like you can get Gibbs in the second. I think that would be more my speed. I feel like he'll fall. Or trade, or if you trade it back for a running back, I'll be down for that. Give me some extra picks.
And imagine, if you really want to replace Zeke, UCLA running back Zach, how you say his name? Thumper. If you want to,
I like
UCLA. Yes, sir.
I gotta watch him. There's a couple of them I like out there. I like Bigsby. I like Tank. He ain't run fast.
Tank Bigsby.
But he can move, man. He got vision. He's a really good running back. He's a pro. He's not fast. He's like 4.6. He was bad, but the tape is real. Yeah. And so it's a lot of guys out there. Okay, before we get, y'all seen Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah.
ECU.
Yeah. Little dude.
Hey, Slim.
If they draft me a little dude, I'm good with it.
Deuce Vaughn, probably around 4 or 5.
I like Deuce, but Deuce.
I like Deuce Vaughn, bro. And I don't know if y'all know, his dad is on our scouting staff. So.
Yeah, man. He is. I like Deuce Vaughn too, man. He gave Bama one. But damn, we gave Bama one. I think he gave Bama one of them long runs. But come on, man. He's 5'5". I'm like, dog. They gonna just grab him by his
bro.
But he ain't.
Easy to say in hindsight, right?
I hope so, man. Just give me Gibbs, man. Give me 4.38. Give me 4.38 with the boot block. And we out here lit, bro. Man, it's a pleasure kicking it with y'all boys, man. This is the first episode of the Basement. Y'all, like, subscribe, let us know y'all feeling the product, what y'all want more of. Drop some topics. Engage with us. We're gonna get back and forth with y'all. We're gonna be on the Twitter. Hey Nick, drop your Twitter. Let them know what your Twitter is. You too, man.
Yeah. Twitter, Instagram, NICKFROMDA301. Nick from the 301. Holla at me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Alex.Gray, ALEXTHYGR8.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all, I don't even know. The joint guys sign Season of Love, SZNOFLUV on Twitter, man. Holla at us. We're gonna be out here, man. Every week we'll be giving y'all some new content, man. It was a pleasure talking to y'all boys, man.
Yep, for sure.
All right, man.